Welcome to the Business English Podcast, where each episode is a step towards making you more proficient and confident in your professional English usage. I'm Rob, your guide on this journey, and today we're tackling a tricky topic that all of us face sooner or later. Those moments at work when things don't go as planned. Have you ever found yourself in a difficult situation where words seem to fail you? Well, you're not alone. Today's episode is called Sticky Wicket, Expressions for a Pinch, and it's all about finding the right phrases to articulate those tricky moments professionally. Whether you're caught in a high-stakes meeting or a casual conversation that takes an unexpected turn, the right expression can save the day. By the end of our time together today, you'll have a toolkit of phrases ready to deploy whenever you find yourself in a bit of a pickle. But what exactly does it mean to be in a spot of bother, or to find oneself in a bit of a pinch? And when are these phrases appropriate to use in a business setting? Stick around because we'll dive into each expression, where it comes from, and how you can use it effectively at work. Now, let me ask you this. Have you ever felt up against a wall during a project discussion or needed a way to express a significant hiccup in a plan without causing alarm? If your answer is yes, then today's discussion will be especially relevant to you. We'll explore not just what to say, but how these phrases can subtly influence the outcomes of your conversations. So get ready to expand your business English vocabulary and perhaps even your comfort zone. Are you ready to learn how to express difficulty with poise and precision? Let's get started. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Business English Podcast, helping professionals communicate more effectively, more confidently, and with impact. With your host, Rob, from Energetic English. Let's get down to business. Now, let's jump right into our first set of expressions, which are vital for those moments when you find yourself in a bit of trouble at work. These are phrases you can use to subtly indicate that you're facing a challenge without causing panic or concern. They are perfect for conveying your situation while maintaining professionalism and calm. Our first phrase is, I'm in a spot of bother. Take a moment to repeat that after me. I'm in a spot of bother. This expression is wonderfully British in flavour, and it's particularly useful when you're experiencing minor troubles that require attention but are not necessarily catastrophic. Imagine you're in a meeting and a minor error in your report is pointed out. You could respond by saying, "Thank you for catching that. I seem to be in a spot of bother with these figures." It acknowledges the issue without escalating the tension. Next up, I'm in a bit of a pickle. Go ahead and repeat that one. I'm in a bit of a pickle. This phrase is a bit more informal, yet it's effective in a professional setting. It suggests a tricky or awkward situation that you're trying to navigate. Let's say your team is supposed to deliver a project, but a key piece of information hasn't arrived yet. You could explain to your manager that we're in a bit of a pickle waiting for the client's feedback before we can finalise the project. Lastly, we have, I seem to be in a bit of a pinch. Repeat this phrase after me. I seem to be in a bit of a pinch. This is ideal for moments when you're under pressure due to time constraints or resources. Suppose you're at the end of a project timeline and suddenly you need to revise a major component. You might say to your team, I seem to be in a bit of a pinch with this schedule. We need to strategize our next steps efficiently. Each of these expressions offers a way to communicate difficulties while showing that you are in control and seeking solutions. Now, I'm curious, have you ever found yourself using similar phrases in your work environment? Or perhaps you might be wondering when exactly you could use each one of these phrases effectively. Hang tight, because as we progress, we'll delve into specific scenarios where these phrases can be particularly impactful, so stay with us. Shifting gears now, let's explore how to articulate challenges in high-pressure scenarios. those moments that really test our mettle. These next phrases are particularly useful during tough negotiations, critical presentations, or intense meetings where the stakes are high and every word counts. First on our list, I'm up against the wall here. Let's practice saying that one together. I'm up against the wall here. This expression vividly conveys that you are in a difficult position with limited options available. It's perfect for a negotiation scenario where you might be facing tough demands from the other side. Picture this: you're in a meeting and the client is pushing hard for lower prices, but you can't go any lower without affecting your profit margins. You lean in and you say, I understand your concerns, but I'm up against the wall here. Let's find a compromise that works for us both. Next, we've hit a roadblock. Repeat with me. We've hit a roadblock. This expression is ideal for describing an unexpected obstacle that might delay or change the course of a project. Use this when you want to inform your team or stakeholders that there is an issue, but you are actively working on a solution. For instance, if a key piece of legislation changes and impacts your project, during your update, you might explain, we've hit a bit of a roadblock with new regulations and we're assessing our options to move forward effectively. Finally, this puts us in a tight corner. Say it out loud. This puts us in a tight corner. It implies a challenging situation where choices are limited and creative problem solving is required. It's particularly useful in high-stakes meetings where a major issue arises unexpectedly. Imagine your company's main supplier fails to deliver a crucial material. During a strategic meeting, you could say, this puts us in a tight corner, but I'm confident we can explore alternative suppliers to mitigate this risk. These expressions not only help you describe the situation, but also set the stage for proposing solutions or requesting assistance without panic. They show that while the situation is serious, you are composed and ready to tackle the issue head on. Curious about how these phrases can be turned into opportunities to showcase your leadership and problem solving skills? Well, keep listening because we're going to explore just that. Now, let's navigate the waters of formal settings, where the decorum is higher and every word is weighed. Whether it's during formal evaluations, official reports, or high-level board meetings, the phrases we're about to discuss will help you communicate effectively when under scrutiny. First up, we're in treacherous waters here. Say that with me. We're in treacherous waters here. This phrase is particularly effective in formal settings where serious issues are being discussed. It suggests navigating through risky or uncertain situations that require careful handling. Imagine you're presenting a financial overview to stakeholders and you need to address some risky investments. You could start with, as we review our portfolio, it's clear that we're in treacherous waters given the current market volatility. Moving on to our next phrase. This is a delicate situation. Repeat after me. This is a delicate situation. Use this when you need to highlight the sensitivity of an issue without causing alarm. It's perfect for times when diplomatic language is necessary. Suppose there's need to discuss potential layoffs or restructurings at a board meeting. You might say, this is a delicate situation that requires us to consider all potential impacts on our team and overall operations. Lastly, we introduce, there's been a significant oversight. Let's practice that one. There's been a significant oversight. This is a crucial phrase for moments when an error has been discovered, especially one that could have considerable consequences. It's a way to bring up a problem without directly assigning blame, which can facilitate more constructive dialogue, of course. Imagine during an audit, it's discovered that some crucial data was not included in a report. In presenting this to the audit committee, you might explain, there's been a significant oversight in our reporting that we need to address immediately. These expressions are not just about communicating problems, but doing so with tact and professionalism. They serve as a bridge to discussing solutions and maintaining the confidence of your colleagues or clients. Ever wondered how such expressions can affect your professional relationships or the outcomes of your discussions? Well, stay tuned as we delve deeper into the strategic use of language in business communications. Now, let's turn our attention to those unexpected, often informal encounters that can happen anywhere from the break room to the remote work setup. Even in these less formal settings, it's crucial to articulate challenges professionally. These phrases will help you convey issues without causing undue concern. First, we have the phrase, "I've stumbled into a problem." Say it with me. I've stumbled into a problem. This expression is informal yet professional, perfect for a scenario where you encounter an unforeseen issue. For example, imagine you're in a casual team catch-up over coffee and you need to bring up an unexpected snag in a project you're working on. You could say, "I've stumbled into a problem with our software update that might delay our rollout. Let's brainstorm some possible solutions." Next up, we're in a bit of a jam. Go ahead and repeat that. We're in a bit of a jam. This is another great informal phrase that communicates you're in a tricky situation, but it's manageable. It's ideal for when you need to explain that a complication has arisen, but want to keep the mood light and cooperative. Perhaps during a team call, when discussing project deadlines, you could use it like this. "Team, we're in a bit of a jam with the client's latest feedback. I believe we need a quick pivot to address their concerns effectively." Lastly, let's look at "That's thrown a spanner in the works." Practice this phrase. That's thrown a spanner in the works. This is a vivid expression used to describe an action or event that has caused a significant disruption, usually unexpectedly. It's especially useful in a light-hearted manner to express frustration without sounding too serious. Imagine you're leading a remote session and a sudden tech issue disrupts your agenda. You could lighten the mood by saying, "Well, this has certainly thrown a spanner in the works for our meeting, but let's see if we can come up with a workaround." Now, these phrases aren't only helpful for describing the situation, but also for keeping the atmosphere constructive and focused on solutions. Wondering how you can transition these expressions into action steps or maintain morale despite the challenges? Stay tuned, because mastering these nuances is what sets successful communicators apart in the business world. As we wrap up today's episode of the Business English Podcast, I hope you found our exploration of expressions for handling tricky situations both enlightening and practical. We've covered a range of phrases to help you navigate everything from high-pressure meetings to informal bumps in the workflow, showing that the right words can indeed make a significant difference. To quickly recap, we've learned phrases like, "I'm in a spot of bother," ideal for minor troubles, and "we've hit a roadblock," perfect for discussing significant unexpected challenges. We also discussed how to say "I've stumbled into a problem" in casual yet unexpected work encounters that require a swift and strategic response. Now, I encourage you to try using these expressions in your upcoming work interactions. Notice how they affect your conversations and the responses you receive. Are they helping you manage situations more effectively? Are you feeling more confident in your communication? Thank you for joining me today. Don't forget to subscribe to our podcast for more insights that will sharpen your professional English. Share this episode with colleagues who might also benefit from these practical expressions. Until next time, keep practicing, and remember, a well-chosen phrase can navigate even the stickiest wicket at work. See you in the next episode.
You have been listening to the Business English Podcast. Remember to subscribe, leave a review, and we'll see you next time.